magazine or different magazines?
Yes, there are 3 different magazines. If you want to explain very little where they're from. So this is fans' website. So they are fans. They are not journalists.
Not journalists, okay.
Yeah, community people. Yeah, community people, and they want to ask questions.
Okay.
So
みんなフランスのコミュニティの方で、3つの違う会社から、ウェブサイトから来ている方々で、だからジャーナリストではなく、彼ら自身もファンです。
Hello, Naka-san. Hello, Iizuka-san. Thank you for coming here. We have the first question. Nowadays, 2D games are popular and retro gaming attracts more and more people. Do you think there will be more and more 2D games to come?
まず、わざわざこちらまで来てくださってありがとうございます。質問なんですけど、2D ゲームが最近またリバイバルというか、ポピュラーになってきてるんですけど、これからもやっぱり 2D ゲームがもっと人気が上がっていくと考えています。
じゃあ、2D ゲームと3D ゲームって全然もう違うアクションタイプのゲームですし、2D ゲームは特に小さい子供が遊びやすかったり、あとモバイルのゲームだともうリッチな 3D よりは 2D の方がシンプルで遊びやすかったりしますので、 3D と 2D のゲームって今後もどっちがいい悪いじゃなくて共存していくタイプのゲームだと思います。
So, Iizuka-san's opinion is that 2D and 3D games deliver a totally different feel and they're completely different action games. But with 2D games, its great appeal is to younger children because they find it a lot more accessible than 3D games. And on top of that, nowadays there's portable devices becoming more and more popular. He feels that there is definitely a place for 2D games from here on, but at the same time, 3D games is, is obviously something that everyone plays. So I think he feels it will continue to coexist both 2D and 3D.
I continue with the same question. With our actual gaming platform, it is possible to show the player some effects that were impossible to realize during the Mega Drive Genesis. Can you say something about that?
今、ネクストゲームのコンソールが出てきたことで、以前できなかったことが可能になってきていると思うんですけど、メガドラの時代とかに比べると、それに関してちょっとコメントをしていただけますか？すごいオープンなんです。すごいオープンなクエスチョン。Quite an open question. Yeah, very open.
でも多分僕らがゲームを作ってた頃よりもグラフィックが良くなっているのっていうのもいいんだけど、どちらかというとネットワークのところがだいぶ充実してきたっていうのが、それがそのネットワークまで使わなくても今度は単体で例えば3DS の SHI があったりだとか、PSP とか今度の NGP の2みたいなのがあったりとか、そういうコミュニケーションを取っていくことがすごくゲーム機の中で成長しているっていうのは、すごくゲームを遊ぶ人にとってはすごく楽しくなるような要素がどんどん増えてきているので、そういう意味では我々もそこに向かって何か面白いものを今後出していけるといいなっていうのが今の良さというか、出てきてるんじゃないかなと思いますけど。
Okay. So, the obvious thing is the graphics are a lot better now. What we are able to do with the graphics is completely different to what we've been able to do before. And on top of that, the network functionality that obviously didn't exist before is, very wholesome now. So there's obviously things we could do with network function, online gaming, but another aspect is, so how can we create a game that doesn't use online functionality, and still make it really fun? And for example, there's new functionalities with devices today, like 3DS speed cards, and obviously we've got the PSP Vita coming on soon. And we'd like to be able to utilize utilize every aspect or every functionality that these new devices have and create a game that continues to innovate and use, everything that it can muster,
Naka-san and Iizuka-san, thanks again for being here. And now we have a question about some games, such as Sonic the Hedgehog, released in 2006, and Sonic and the Black Knight, which are considered by the community as unfinished. Do you think it's a lack of work in those games, or a problem of communication between the fans, the community, and the team?
リリースにまた来てくださってありがとうございます。今回の質問はソニック・ヘッジホッグの2006年のゲームと、あと、プロ騎士、ブラックライトの方に関しての質問なんですけど、コミュニティ側からしてみると、これらのゲームはまだ完成してないっていう声が上がっているらしいんですけど、それは開発側では本当にちょっと急いで出すから、テクニカルな問題があったとか、それともただ単に、コミュニティとかファンからに対するコミュニケーションが問題だったら、どう思いますか？
できてないと思われるかどうかっていうのは、人それぞれかなと思うので、僕自身はそれをそう感じてるんだっていうのを最後まで見切れてないけど、全てが分かってはないけど、でも、商品として出てるもの自体っていうのは、それはそれでやっぱり完成品だと思うので、それはそれですごく開発、僕らはずっと今まで作った他のタイトルもみんな、確かに少し作り残したところも思いがなくもないタイトルもあるけど、でも基本的にはみんな全力でタイトルを作って世に出しているので、なのですごくそういうファンの人からするとちょっと足りないと思うかもしれない部分もあるかもしれないけど、開発者としては多分満足のいく出来だったんじゃないかなと思いますけど。
Naka-san was feeling is that everybody will have a different opinion. Some people may feel that way, some people may feel it's such a complete game, and from the developer's point of view, every game that's released, it's a complete product in itself. It's complete work, and that's why it's been released. And when they work on a title, they work with 100% effort. They really give it their all to make a great game, like the greatest game that they could make. That's what they're working on. And if I say, for example, that I have no regrets, or I don't feel like, I could have done this, or I could have done that, then that would be like, there are things obviously that you feel, so I could have tweaked that a little bit more. But what we do release, we release with the intention of it being completed.
やっぱり全部のプロジェクトがすごい整ったいい条件でやっぱりできているわけじゃなくて、やっぱタイトルによってはすごいスケジュールが大変だったり、人が少なかったりとか、そういう厳しい条件で開発するタイトルの中には過去にはあったので、今後私もプロデューサーとしてそういうタイトルごとに無理なスケジュールや無理な条件でタイトルを作らないように今後はやっていきたいと思います。
Okay, so Iizuka-san would like to add that in the past there have been titles released in the franchise that were created with it wasn't created with the best setting that it could have. Sometimes they had resource limitations, they didn't have enough staff working on the game, for example, sometimes, or maybe sometimes there was a real schedule limitation. They had to meet a certain deadline, so it didn't give the game the best chance that it could have in the past. But from moving on forward, Iizuka-san will be looking after all Sonic projects as the main producer, and he'll be ensuring that the game has the best chance it has. To create a great game and make sure that everything is set for it to be worked on with the best environment it can have.
Iizuka-san, Naka-san, どうぞよろしく。 Many fans complain about the 3D since Sonic the Hedgehog on 360, and they wanted to know why do you change the Sonic Adventure style to the recent one, even if you include adventure style elements such as Adventure Field.
I don't really get the question. Sorry, what was changed?
Fans do not agree with the 3D since Sonic on the 360, Sonic the Hedgehog, and they wanted to know why they changed the Sonic Adventure style.
Okay. Sonic Adventure のスタイルの 3D スタイルから360で出した 3D のスタイルがちょっとなんか変わってるみたいで、なんでそこで変えたんでしょうか。意外とこうそのアドベンチャーの時のスタイルの方が
スタイル、キャラクターの
自分たちスタイル、キャラクター、モデル。
Character or the
Gameplay.
the
Gameplay.
Gameplay and input system.
ソニックス・ヘッジホッグ2000です。
そう、変わられたんでしょ。
俺やってないんですよ。
つけられてない。でも、2006年に出したそのソニックス・ヘッジホッグっていうのは、15年目にあたる、ソニックだったっていうのもあって、ソニックアドベンチャーの時みたいな、またこう、新しい時代を次に続けていけるようにということで、いろんなチャレンジをした中の一つが、そういうふうに思われたりしてるのかなとは思いますけども、何らかこう、次の次元にちょうど次世代機になる瞬間だったってのもあって、そういうところへ向かって作り始めた、タイトルだったのかなという。
詳しくないってことは言わない方がいいですか。
そうかも。もう一番途中までなので、前半関わったんだけど、最後まで面倒見きらなかったんだよね。
So, Sonic the Hedgehog 2006 was created, it was a 14th year of Sonic, and it was being worked on a next gen console. It was our first attempt on the next gen console. So then we faced many challenges, and we were trying to innovate as much as we can, meet all the challenges we were facing the best we could. So we made various changes, to try and meet the fact that it is next gen. And I think that's what you're pointing at. So that's what you thought that was the end product of what you thought of our starting. It was almost like a beginning, a new challenge, a new beginning, a new era for Sonic. So they were trying new different solutions.
Continue? No, c'est continue.
For Iizuka, Sega finally listened to its fans and understood that there was two different Sonic publics. There are some people like ancient Sonic, old Sonic, and modern Sonic. Why did it take so long?
Why did
it take so long?
コミュニティのファンの中で、すごい2つのキャンプに分かれてる。で、1つのファンたちは、グループはクラシックソニックの方が好き。1つのファンの人たちはモダンソニックの方が好き。で、今回のジェネレーションズで、それが現れるんですけど、それが彼らにとっては、やっと聴いてくれたって思ってる人たちがいるみたいで、なんでこんなに時間かかったんですかっていう、そのファンの声を伝えるのに。
当然ながらそのクラシックファンとそのモダンスタイルのファン、2つタイプがあったのは知ってましたし、その両方に応えようと思って、昨年はソニック4シリーズとソニックカラーズ、それぞれの別々のタイプのタイトルとして出しましたけど、今回はその20周年ということで、その別々のファンたちがそれぞれソニック4、ソニックカラーズという別々のタイトルで会話をするんじゃなくて、一つの20周年という一つの大きなタイトルでみんな盛り上がってほしいという思いからこのジェネレーションというのを今回リリースしましたけど、やはり遊び的には2Tとモダンで違うものなので、今後もだからそれを1個のタイトルでっていうのがじゃなくて、やっぱりセパレートでそれぞれ提供していきたいと思ってますし、 あくまでもジェネレーションはその20周年のお祝いということでこうみんなで楽しめるソフトということで出しています。
Iizuka-san was aware of the fact that there were fans. You know, they were on two different camps. There were one bunch of fans who really liked the old Sonic, and another bunch of fans that liked the new Sonic. And that's why, for example, last year, Sonic 3 released two totally different games. One was Sonic Colors, that was appealing to the 3D fans, and one was the Sonic 4, which was, you know, really aimed at those who like the classic Sonic. And for this 20th anniversary, what we've done is we brought them together so that the fans, you know, don't celebrate separately, but we all come together to celebrate Sonic's 20th anniversary all together. And this is actually a really special occasion. And moving on forward, you know, 2D and 3D is totally different games. The mechanics are completely different. So in the future, you'll probably see them as separate games. But yeah.
Iizuka-san. In Sonic Generation, we saw some cameo from old characters like Fang, Ray, Bark, and fans want to know if you have planned to reintroduce them in the main series, or if they were just cameo for one game.
For Sonic Generation?
Yes.
Which examples did he give as cameo?
Fang, yes. Fang, Ray, Bark.
レインバー一応そのファングとかあの辺の昔ソニックアドベンチャー以前に生まれたキャラクターたちはその今のソニックフランチャイズは扱ってないんですけど、今回のソニック20周年ということで、ちょっとユーモアですね的にポスターを出したりとかして、そういう昔のファンたちもちょっとニヤッとするようなネタをゲームの中に入れてるんですけど、これはあくまでもそのジェネレーションという20周年タイトルだから。
Okay, so Fang and the other characters that you mentioned are they're previously Sonic Adventure, and we don't really actually use these characters anymore. But for Sonic Generations, because this is the 20th anniversary, looking back at the whole history of Sonic, that is why we have the cameo appearances in. We created the posters, for example, to try, and the intention was to try and please fans and put a smile on their face to see, you know, a character that they are familiar with and loved many years ago. But what we would like to clarify is this is because it is the 20th anniversary. It's a very special occasion.
Last question.
Last question.
And you can just mention something.
Le système de boost. Ouais.